Unit Clone Force 99. The defective clones with desirable mutations. They call themselves the Bad Batch.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Empire Radio Podcast. I'm Andrew.
I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And today we're continuing a story that we left off last week. And that story is season 2 of Jeremiah's Bad Batch fan fiction.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's
So
nice
I'm
pretty
really
juicy.
Yeah, I'm excited. So this is we're going to be covering episodes 3 and 4, correct?
Yep.
Cool. So just get pumped, everyone, for that. Really quickly, I'd like to welcome everyone who is currently watching on Twitch and give a shout out to the Empire Radio Discord channel, the Imperial Fleet. So shout out to you if you're in that already and you're listening to it later or watching on YouTube or whatever. We're glad you're there. And for those of you that aren't in the Discord channel already, you can join. If you're a fan of the show and you love Star Wars and you're not going to be rude or post really inappropriate things, you can join. And you can do that by going to our Instagram and our Facebook, both of which are at Empire Radio Podcast. There are links in the bio on our Instagram, and there's a pinned link on Facebook that you can go to. Click the link, you join. I don't remember off the top of my head how many people we have total, but I think
it's around 25.
Yeah. So. There's like a solid group of like 10 people that are pretty active consistently.
Every day I look at my phone, I'm like, do I catch up?
Well, the awesome thing is that if you're looking for a way, if you don't hate us for whatever reason, from listening to the podcast and you want to actually get to know us, you want to chat with us about Star Wars and stuff, this is the way to do it. We've been having some really cool conversations with people. Most recently, the hot topic has been the Light of the Jedi book, which Jeremiah is reading.
Yep.
Yeah, how do you not have that button preset? Dude, you have
forgetting.
one job.
I have a lot of jobs. But Jeremiah's reading the book, and so if all goes according to plan, we are going to be discussing that more formally in a podcast episode the first week of February.
Yep.
So far, guys, what's your thought?
Well, if you want to know my thoughts, you have to go into the Discord to find out.
Yeah. My assessment of the first part of the book, which I have finished, I have given a 1-sentence.
I was hoping to get a little bit. I just finished chapter 25, I think.
Holy smokes!
Wow, someone's flexing. That's fine. That's fine.
Dude, it gets.
Yeah.
Part 1.
You can't say anything because I'm in part 2, but I'm not as far as you are into part 2.
And I haven't started part 2 yet.
Let's just say, Jeremiah, just start part 2 because part 1 was a lot of building, and this is just going.
Well, I mean, to be fair, part 1 was really good. In my opinion, I loved part 1. So
I guess we're not waiting for Discord.
No, we are waiting for Discord. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh,
but
you
listen,
said more.
all that's to say, look, this isn't us keeping things from you. If you're just, kind of a casual listener to the podcast, or even a reoccurring listener that, really enjoys listening to us every week, this isn't us trying to keep things from you. This is us trying to give you another opportunity to be involved with the community.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I know the other guys have. And I know our Imperial Fleet members have also really enjoyed it as well. So
yeah, and just because you guys don't want to do a Discord, you don't have to. We are going to do a full discussion podcast episode on that. So don't feel like you're not going to actually hear our response about this book. Like, we are planning on doing it. But yeah, so far I enjoy it. Weird thing, you guys. So I just found out I'm 2 years behind, but my favorite Star Wars book, The Lost Star, I didn't realize had like a manga version, a 3-part series.
Yep.
That's also this. It's still like the same quality from, and I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I was at Barnes and
Leia-
Noble. I saw the
Leia,
Leia
for
one
instance,
dropped.
Yeah, it just dropped like this past summer.
Yeah. So there's mangas out there, you guys, and I did
But
not know that.
anyway.
And I bought all of the Lost
Anyway.
Star ones, so I'm pretty
Well, good.
excited.
So Jeremiah, I wanted to tell you that my brother-in-law,
Yeah.
shout out. I don't know if he's actually watching tonight. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. But my brother-in-law has been a recent kind of listener. He's been like going back and binging a lot of our episodes to get caught up on stuff and everything. And so he did go back and binge watch season 1. Really
Ooh.
enjoyed it. But he told me this weekend that if you were allowed to write stories and you actually wrote them with the cliffhangers that you do in this series, he doesn't know how long you would have a job in Hollywood.
Damn.
Because of how good they are. I mean, like it's a good thing. It's not like he was.
I got a lot of juicy cliffhangers coming up. I can tell you that.
Anyways,
What if we
so
what
yeah.
if we found out like Jeremiah's real calling is to write stories like this, and like he's just sitting.
I start writing Star Wars novels.
He's just sitting at his like casual job right now, not realizing that his future is actually writing Star Wars novels. Jeremiah, you might need to start applying for roles. Places.
I did actually the other day go to Lucasfilm website and look at their jobs, but
Did you apply for any?
I
It's
didn't qualify for
interesting.
anything.
Oh darn.
Yeah.
GG.
You
You
have
need
to
10
have,
years experience at
was gonna-
ILM to do this job.
What?
Like, no thanks. Sorry.
their jobs are you have to be top notch to get like an entry position at Lucasfilm, aside from like a male or something, But
All right. Anyway,
so yeah, so we are starting episodes. We're going to be going through episodes 3 and 4 of Jeremiah's season 2 of Jeremiah's Bad Batch fan fiction. So without further ado, I'd like to do my favorite part of the episode.
They fly now?
Shut your dirty mouth.
yes. Thank you for that. dude.
You're welcome.
No one needed that.
I needed that.
Anyways,
All
story
right.
time with Jeremiah.
Story
Take
time.
us away.
So, just a quick recap from the first 2 episodes of season 2. Hunter and Hunter and Tech, they introduced their plan to everyone about how they want to use nanodroids to enter a clone system and have it take away the biochip rather than having to do a surgery on individual people. So they're trying to figure this out, blah, blah, blah. And Crosshair determines that the best way forward with this nano plan is to go to Camino, put the nanodroids into the water system, and save all the clones there, halting the production of the Empire's military and setting them 10 years back. That's the best way to start saving clones. And so they have 2 leads on where they know nanodroids were at some point. And their first lead was to go back to Skanko Minor, where Echo was rescued from by the Bad Batch, because he knew that there were nanodroids there. They go there to a facility where they were at one point, and they came up empty-handed, but they knew that the nanodroids there were transferred to Coruscant, which was where their second lead was. And during that time on Skanko Minor, 14 clones gave their life for the cause.
Oof.
GG.
Yeah, that was a heavy episode.
It was. And so now we're picking up pretty much right after last episode. And so episode 3 is entitled 79s. So this number 79 apostrophe S. So the clones that went to Skako Minor, they have returned to the base that they're on a random planet with the light cruiser, and hiding in the outer rim, and they return back to this base, and everyone that's returned that survived is just pissed because they just lost 14 soldiers,
That's
brothers,
fair.
and they think that was a failure, even though they got a lead. But a lot of the clones that were left back, that didn't go on a mission, they're especially pissed because they're like, 14 of our brothers just died for no reason, and they like the ones that are like the new recruits, kind of the clones, the shinies, who have no really experience with the effects of the biochip in their mind. They're the most conflicted because they don't really have any say in all this. They don't really know what's going on, and so they're the most conflicted. They're the most upset. But Hunter says that he's trying to address things. Hey, we still have a lead. Like, we know that there's nanodroids on Coruscant. There's a tech facility there, and we have to go to Coruscant, break into this facility, and get the nanodroids. And so everyone's so pissed, but like, what are they gonna do? They have to follow the leadership, which is basically Hunter, the Bad Batch, Rex, and whatnot. And so they're talking about this facility, and Tech is familiar with the facility because obviously, he has to do with tech. So a tech facility that's kind of influenced by the Empire.
It's only natural.
It's
Yeah.
only natural. So
It's only
Makes
natural.
sense.
he knows the place. He's been there, but he doesn't know the ins and outs of the whole building. So they
He
know
didn't work sanitation.
he didn't work sanitation. No.
Ah, dang.
And so the plan is they're going to, when they get to Coruscant, they're going to try and find clones that work at that tech facility, use the little surgery machines that they have, they can latch onto the head to remove those chips, wake them up, and use them to get into the tech facility. And so, but their concern is, well, Bad Batch and all these clones that have been saved have been, they're assuming that they're on a watch list by the Empire, that if they get a scanner or something, they go through a scanner and they get caught, like, this is going to trigger an alarm, blah blah blah. And so they're kind of worried, how are they going to get to Coruscant, because they can't show up in a stolen light cruiser. Like, it's not going to work. And so
That's fair.
what they decide is they have to find some a system somewhere that has a large enough population where they could find like a cargo ship or a large ship that's kind of more civilian and generic, and not something that would be recognized by the Empire. That would be large enough to carry a group of clones, but also large enough to fill up with crates of nanodroids. So obviously it has to be a non-military ship, and so they go find a system that's a few systems away, and they go there. They take a couple of their smaller ships that they've been able to steal, and they're going to trade one of those ships for a cargo ship, because a military ship for a basic cargo ship would be a good trade. And so, but the thing is, because they're trying to stay low key, they don't want to obviously reveal themselves as clones anywhere in the galaxy unless they have to. And so they're only going with 4: Tech, Hunter, and then 2 regs who will be going on this mission to get a ship. And so they find a planet, blah, 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 the next day, and they take the 2 ships down, and they go to this city that's kind of like, it's not like a huge city, but it's a decent sized city. And they kind of like, well, where's the best place to buy starships, blah, 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 and blah, blah. And they're kind of going around. And so they find some places that are selling ships. And it's like classic scene of like a car salesman, like, but with starships, like trying to like cheat with like, oh, this is the best one on the lot, but like it's not that great.
I always wanted to know how that worked. Like you just find one? Because I don't think we've ever seen someone purchase a ship in Star Wars.
Now, we did see someone sell one in A New Hope. I mean, it was a speeder. It was a land speeder. It wasn't a
That's
ship.
not no. I don't.
But of course, they have manufacturers and dealers.
I mean, yeah. I'm just always curious how it works.
I feel like
same thing. You just go.
Was the
you take your
new
credits.
the new ship of the year like? You know, like
Yeah.
what is the hot ship coming out?
Okay, well, you've read part 1 of the Light of the Jedi, so there are actually a few references to like new ships and kind of that cycle in that
True.
book.
yeah. I just feel like
So-
if Hondo ever got in tough times and had to go into like sales, he'd be like a car salesman.
Yeah, he would.
But anyway, they're kind of going from lot to lot trying to find good things, and obviously the salesmen are trying to like cheat to get a good deal, but like Tech is there with them, so he has like can scan the ship like sorry, this has a fuel leak, you lied about that, and so he knows how to get a good ship, and so they find one at a dealership or whatever, and I kind of picture that as like a kind of like the Sandcrawler on Tatooine, but like a ship version, but like and smaller. So it's kind of like that brownish, kind of boxy type of thing. That's kind of like what I had in my mind when I was writing this. So they trade one of their smaller military ships for this one, and they're kind of doing the paperwork, blah blah blah. And from a distance,
I hate car paperwork. It
I
is
was
the
gonna
worst.
say, do you have to
Oh my
have
gosh.
like? How does insurance work?
Okay, don't. I was thinking
Does
the
it
same
cover
thing, but at this
every
point-
galaxy or
At this point, yeah.
certain
Where does, your
planet?
where does your liability stop? You know, like does it cover hyperspace?
USA does not cover Tatooine. That we
Right.
will not help you out of the ditch. Like that's not how this is gonna work.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
roadside assistance, but for like hyperlanes.
Yeah, I really.
I would actually think that insurance is not a thing.
Well,
Because,
if
like,
it
a
is,
ship
no one
goes
pays
down.
for it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, we've never seen anyone be like, I just got into a fender bender on Coruscant. Let me call my insurance agency. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't happen. You just eat it. Like, you eat the
Well,
cost.
and I guess if you crash, like the chance of you surviving is
It's slim.
pretty.
Well, I don't know. They do
can't-
have really good safety measures there. So,
Mm.
I mean, if they thought through escape pods,
True.
they have to have like airbags.
But I wonder though if you launch the skate pod, like all your insurance just goes out the window. Like,
No, your insurance would cover the escape pod.
see, this is where it gets dicey.
It covers the vehicle and the. Anyways, Jeremiah's gonna look on his face. Anyway,
So while they're doing the paperwork for this trade, from a distance, someone is watching the clones doing this,
Uh-oh.
like and he gets on a radio
uh-huh.
and he says that he has spotted 2 clones and 2 others because he doesn't recognize the Bad Batch members because they
Right.
look different. 2 others trading a military ship, and this is considered treason by the Empire to sell a military ship to civilians. And this person,
Is this our Jester? Is this our cameo that Drew was hoping for?
no,
Dang it.
no. I was gonna write him in this episode briefly, but I was like, nah, screw that. But
Thanks.
so this person turns around, and it's another clone that's undercover for the Empire in the Outer
Oh?
Rim, just kind of surveying, making sure if any Jedi walk by, like he can.
He goes,
Yeah. So
Just
he radios in, and this is kind of like where I kind of screwed up the story a little bit because it doesn't really make sense, but we're just gonna go with it.
Oh,
okay.
okay. All right.
But so it's undercover clone. He radios in, and while they're leaving the dealership, 2 TIE fighters are coming from the distance to come investigate. So
what was that? 2 what?
TIE fighters come. Oh god.
They fly now?
Uh,
I was actually thinking, on a side note, I was actually thinking about like having sound effects to make this more like an audiobook,
no.
but we're too far in now.
Yeah, too
So,
far in.
anyway, so TIE fighters are showing
So I
up.
guess there's a military presence on this planet that are kind of
Yeah.
like in hiding. But so 2 TIE fighters come, and Hunter and Tech, they see it like, oh crap. So they jump into the cargo ship, and the 2 regs, they go run to go get into the other military ship, small one that they had brought. And so both take off, and there's an aerial chase in the sky. And they realize that there's no way that the cargo ship will be able to escape these TIE fighters without um, the regs and the other ship making a sacrifice. And
Oh.
so they put themselves between the TIE fighters and the cargo ship just enough time for the cargo ship to get away. So the regs, they sacrifice themselves, they get shot down, they're dead. So there's -2 regs.
Oh,
And the cargo ship is
wow.
able to get.
They're really just cannon fodder at this
Yeah, they're
point,
just-
aren't
Well,
they?
they believe in the cause so much of what
Ah.
they're doing that they are knowing that their sacrifice could lead to millions of clones being saved. At least that's what they're thinking.
That's
so-
that's honorable. I like that.
So the cargo ship is able to get to hyperspace and get out of there. And so in the investigation on that planet of what happened there, they realized that yes, this was Clone Force 99 because the ships that they the one that they traded and the one that was shot down were ones stolen from previous encounters with Bad Batch. And so, and they did identify like a cargo ship model, like they know what it is, like the model, but they're so generic, like there's millions of them throughout the galaxy, but at
It's
least
like
they
a space Prius.
basically.
Ah,
And
nice.
so they have that in mind, or the Empire knows that this ship is with the Bad Batch. And so they arrive back at base with the cargo ship, but they kind of are thinking they're in a bad situation now because they now know that the Empire knows that they're in a nearby system. They can't have gone too far. So they know that they can't stay on this planet, and so they have to pack up and leave and hide somewhere else. And so they decide this, and it's like, well, now we have to go to Coruscant like ASAP because we have to get there before they really put like a big mandate on trying to find this ship or anything like that or whatever. So everyone packs up, they leave the planet, and a group goes to Coruscant with this cargo ship. And so that group is Rex, Bad Batch, minus Crosshair, because he's obviously still sidelined.
He's still recovering.
He's still recovering and trying to train his new eye. And then plus 10 more clones. And so Crosshair, he's still pissed because he wants to join it because he thinks he can, because his shooting is getting better, and he's like, I should be able to be on this. But they say, no, we can't use you right now. We need us.
Yeah.
We're not going to need
He
sharpshooters in Coruscant. Like,
He just can't see why they don't need him. It's okay.
yeah. And so he's, before the ship leaves, he goes and shoots a little bit before they leave for a new planet because that's just what he does.
I see what you did there, Andrew. I see what you did there.
I didn't see what you did there.
He just couldn't see.
He couldn't
why.
see
Oh.
why they
No.
didn't want him.
Yep.
Okay.
Keep going, Jeremiah.
And so, let's see. I gotta read my notes. So they figured, okay, where are we gonna find a safe place where there's gonna be clones? And they're like, oh, we could go to the bar 79s because everyone's off duty that goes there, and so that's gonna be a fairly safe place to go where there's gonna be tons of clones, and there's not gonna be a risk of, or a large risk of being killed. And so they find the tech facility where it is. and they let's see. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So they know that the workers at the tech facility, the clones that work there, they have like a little like a little emblem on their uniform that's I just kind of made it up as like a little like orange little like squiggle line type thing. So that's just what I had in my mind. So it's like a little marking. So okay, these people are the ones that would work at the tech facility. So if they see them at the bar, then they know that those are their targets to like
Stay
somehow
on
get them.
target.
Yes. And so um, they go to the bar. So let's see. All right, so they go to the bar, and obviously they don't want to make a big thing where like all a group of them walk in at the same time. So, and they don't want the Bad Batch to members to be seen because they're obviously they look different than the other clones, and they're being wanted by the whole Empire. So, Rex and Bad Batch they kind of lead from afar. They kind of like tech. He made little like cameras to put inside the helmets of the good clones to like kind of like monitor everything. So Rex and the Bad Batch they can monitor what's going on inside without actually being there. And so let me just read. And so okay, so they get to 79s and they figure okay, usually when people are at 79s they're on leave for a few days. So they know that if some of these clones go missing, they're not going to be alerted like the next day that they're missing. Like they have a few days to not be searched for. And so they get there towards kind of like in the evening at sunset type time. And
It's probably during happy hour.
probably.
Yeah.
And so they get there at night when everyone's starting to get drinking and it's just,
A little
crawling.
happy. Everyone's getting happy.
Everyone's getting happy. And the place is just crawling with clones. Like it's perfect.
That's a good band name.
Crawling with clones.
Crawling
I
with
feel like that's
Clones.
like a hit single more than a name.
What genre would that be?
Jazz. Duh.
All right. Anyways, Jeremiah.
And so they enter in the clones with the cameras. They enter into the bar, and they're just kind of searching around, and they find some clones that work at the tech facility. Very like convenient. So there's they find that there's 7 actually there, and so 5 of them they're already on their way to getting plastered. So right. They hang out with those 5, and once they're pretty drunk, they say, "All right, we gotta get you out of here, brother. Let's get a cab." And so they get cabs, and it brings them to the cargo ship, obviously. And so that's where they capture them and hold them hostage while they're doing their surgery and all that stuff. So that's their plan: is they're just throwing them in cabs and like making it look not like super casual. And
They
so
have an illegal like cab trafficking ring
basically
for
yeah,
unshipped clones. Wow.
and then there's 2 more that are just kind of casually drinking, but our good clones they start chatting them up and buying them drinks to try and get them drunk, and so they need as many as all the help they can get, so they don't just want 5, they want these other 2 that are there, and so they get drunk. All right, there's last 2, so they escort those 2 out. And as they're leaving, Rex sees something on the video feed. And he tells one of the clones to stop and go turn back and look into the back corner. And there's a big group of clones that are around a table cheering one of the clones who's being like a heavy drinker. Like he's like just taking shots and he's just like everyone's cheering him on. And when the camera sees who this clone is, Rex is shocked and It's Commander Wolf.
Ah,
Oh.
And so we know in Rebels
yes.
that Wolf is with Rex because his chip was removed.
Jeremiah, you missed the best part. You could have said, "Wolf, there he is."
Okay, get out.
That would have been actually pretty good. That was actually pretty good. I like that.
Thank you,
I like
thank you,
it.
thank you. I'm here all night.
You need to go home and rethink your life, Drew.
Yeah,
He is.
Please.
Well, yeah, it's not home anymore because he moved.
I'll
but,
do that.
But Rex sees this and he's starting in like a semi like panic mode, like we have to get Rex or we have to get Wolf. Like he's one of my best friends. He's a strong soldier. Like it would be a great asset. Like, we need him. And he's like super like emotionally attached to this. And Bad Batch is like, no, this is too risky. Like we can't do this. We can't risk doing any of this. Blah blah. Blah. And Rex like shoves his way past him and is like, no, I'm going. And so Rex goes in to the area and he goes to the back alley to like kind of like wait for him because he obviously doesn't want to go inside. So he's kind of waiting, and Wolf ends up leaves, sometime later in kind of the late night, and Rex follows him down the road, kind of like in a dark alley type thing, and he confronts Wolf one-on-one, and Wolf sees him and just freezes, and they're staring at each other, and Wolf says very kind of angrily, "You are a traitor." And Rex is like, "No, Wolf, we are brothers, and we were the ones betrayed. I'm not a traitor. We were betrayed by the Republic, by what is now the Empire." And Wolf, he just gets a smirk on his face and starts laughing and says, "I'm going to kill you, Rex." And charges after Rex. And Rex is like, "Wolf, no." And they just start wrestling on the ground, like in this.
Hey, let me ask you something. Do you think Rex tried spinning?
No, it's not a good trick.
Yes, it is. It's been proven. 100% accurate. Always a good trick.
Well, it wasn't a good trick this time. So
Okay. So they're wrestling.
And while they're Wolf pins Rex and says, "You deserve this, traitor," and he starts choking Rex, like putting all his body weight on his throat, basically with his hands, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you." And then someone stuns Wolf and he passes out, and it's Hunter and the rest of the Bad Batch. And Hunter, goes up to Rex and he's like, "Man, are you all right? Like, we got this. Like, it's all right. You're safe now," type of thing. And Rex, he's super emotional. He's like, "Yeah, I think I'm fine." Wrecker picks up Wolf, and he's like, and Wrecker's like, "All right, we gotta get back to the ship right away." And so they go back to the street, jump in a cab, and that's the end of the episode.
No.
Wow.
I was just thinking about it. If Rex needed a catchphrase, it could be "get Rexed." It's like "get wrecked," but excuse me. I think that's a good time to transition to a quick word from our sponsor, for the sponsor of today's episode, Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know about him, take a quick listen to this.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor for today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that they have a subscription service that gets those amazing coffee beans delivered to your door on an either weekly, bi-weekly, or a monthly basis. Unfortunately, we're all being negatively affected by by this virus right now. With that being said, what a better time to try some new coffee and support a local business. I know they'll greatly appreciate it, and we will too. After all, using the code Empire Radio with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, and you start a
Andrew,
new
look at the
subscription
chat
at
afterwards.
wesleyandrews.cc, you'll get 50% off your first purchase. I can't think of a better deal. Get 50% off, support a local Minneapolis coffee shop, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
So, how many people you got watching on Twitch right now? Just Tanner.
Just Tanner. No, it's not just
I think
Tanner.
I think they're making fun of my ads.
I
Yeah,
don't,
what are they saying?
I don't know if they're making fun of your ads or making fun of our jokes.
That's true.
No, we got
Anyways,
other people in here as well. We got, what's that? Johan's in here, and yeah, chat's
Yeah,
actually chat's booming right now.
yeah, we've got some repeat chatters. I don't know why I said it that way. We've got some returning chatters. It's like they're being arrested or something. So just another
Repeat
reminder. Just listen. This is another reminder for those of you that are not catching our live streams on Twitch that you should. It's fun. It's easy to make an account. I didn't have a Twitch account before we started doing this, but I'm in the chat. I'm watching the chat. It's fun. And at the end of this episode, like we did last week, we're going to ask our people in the chat here what they thought of the Bad Batch fan fiction episodes, those two. So if you want to give your opinion next time, join our Twitch streams. Go find us. Drew, give us the information for that so they can go follow us and be notified when we go live.
It is
Yes.
twitch.tv/Empire Radio. Empire Radio is one word. Like I said, that's this twitch.tv/Empire Radio. Also, it's really fun because they're like making fun of our jokes, I think, more than anything.
Yeah,
It's mostly
which is
like
fun.
who's winning the joke race. There might be people taking some death sticks on every joke. Who knows? Like, it's the chat's wild right now. So make
Yeah,
sure.
Jeremiah, there was a lot of talk about death sticks while you were talking about them being in
They're
the
like,
bar.
yeah, what are they partying with? Death sticks? And then it's fun. So if you are listening and you do want to interact with us live, that is a way, twitch.tv/Empire Radio. But this episode will go live also on YouTube, and that's another way you can watch us as well. So
Oh, and by the way, during the commercial break here,
oh, you were productive.
I was productive. We have an air horn now if we need it.
So the air horn is only used when me or Andrew or Jeremiah make bad jokes. Is that a thing, or?
It has to.
I'll tell you this. This next episode, you want to get your finger ready on one of those buttons because there's gonna be something that's gonna happen. You're gonna get super excited and you're gonna wanna hit overtime.
But is it weird that I prefer Jeremiah's version of the air horn than the actual air horn? Yeah, Jeremiah's version is like the best version of the air horn.
Like a car horn. All right. Anyway, so what are your guys' thoughts on 79s?
I think it was slower,
It was.
but it needed to be because of whatever's about to happen.
Yeah. Any theories? Anything? Because nothing new really except for Wolf. But
they capture Wolf, right?
Wolf
in their taxi.
Yep.
What can you describe what this taxi looks like? Because I'm just thinking, like, if you ever seen Friends, like Phoebe's car that she has.
Well, we see when we see 79s in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, we see taxis.
You see taxis, and it's just like a yellow speeder. Like
That's okay.
I was gonna. I since we're between episodes, this is no longer canon in my fan fiction, but I was gonna have the final cab that they put Wolf in. I was gonna have that as Dax, like his his cafe diner went
Yeah.
out of business, and he had to become a cab driver. And so you weren't gonna like get a name drop. You were just gonna see him in there, like that guy looks familiar. That was him. But I didn't do that because I didn't want to.
All
Well,
right.
Once
we had a
came, the new tax codes and stuff like that got implemented, just really hindered his business. So
That's
what I was
fair.
thinking.
So now that begs to question how do taxes work in
I
Star Wars
think
Forbids?
I think it's kind of like in the biblical times where they knock on your door and demand money.
I don't think,
Sounds like something the Empire would do.
But it's
But-
stormtroopers.
but like
Like
also I feel
stormtroopers,
like you can
not
outrun that
deteriorating.
pretty easily.
Yeah, you just shoot them.
True. I mean, they're not a good shot. So.
You know, it seems to
All
work
right.
in all the other Star Wars movies. Anyways, so episode 4, right?
Episode 4. So if you follow us on Instagram, you know that this episode title was censored on the list of the episodes I posted.
It was redacted.
It was redacted because it's a pretty juicy title. And the thing is, I'm not going to tell you the title until we get to a certain point in this episode because it's
Oh,
very juicy, very spoilery, and it has to do with why you need to have your finger ready on that button.
Okay.
So keep it ready.
I will. And guys, we actually, Drew and I don't know the titles.
No, I actually
Like
I have
Jeremy.
no idea. It was inappropriate. That's why it was taken off Instagram. So he said,
I don't think so.
All right. So, the next episode picks up in the morning, late morning, and so this is when it's about 14 hours after those first clones were taken from the bar. So 14 hours is kind of where they're at now for the effects of the biochip to wear off after they have surgery. So this is kind of late morning, and then.
like
As
say like
clones-
10 o'clock.
I was thinking like 11:30.
Dang, that's really late. That's like brunch. That's like after brunch.
Right. And so the clones are starting to, come to their senses now. But Wolf, he was the last one, so he's not going to kind of come to his senses till, a few hours later, like an early afternoon.
So they took his chip out.
Yeah, they went to the cargo ship where they were parked, and they just did the surgeries in there. And so
Let's cut it up.
Jeremiah, did you ever see The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack?
no,
The TV show on Cartoon Network?
no.
Okay. Because there was a doctor. It was very like nautical. It was a very nautical themed show, and it was supposed to take place, back where, before technology and stuff like that. But there was a doctor, like an old timey doctor, and he always said surgery really weird. And for some reason, every time you say surgery, I hear it exactly the way
What?
he said it.
Surgery?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
He would be like, surgery. It was really creepy every time he said it.
I'm pretty sure I didn't say it like that at all.
No, you didn't, but it reminds me of that every time you say it.
Okay.
Okay.
So, listen, anyways, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, anybody, if you remember what I'm talking about, because I know there's someone out there who does, and I'm not crazy, let us know.
Surgery.
All right.
No, it's
so,
way creepier than that. Anyways, so
So
they went to their parking lot where the ship was parked. They're
Yeah.
doing the surgery. Yeah.
doing the surgeries. They're starting to wake up, come to their senses, blah blah blah. So then they're explaining to these clones after they've waken up, what the deal is, like what happened with the biochip and Order 66 and all that stuff. And so when Wolf finally wakes up and he's explained this, he is super, super sad and depressed and distraught because he says that after Order 66, he led 3 missions to hunt down a Jedi. That he was put in charge of 3 missions to hunt down some Jedi.
Wolf.
And oh gosh,
Please forgive
you
me.
were ruining the moment. It's supposed to be a very emotional moment,
I'm
sad
sorry.
moment.
Just keep going, please.
So he's super distraught, and he said that of those 3 missions, he personally killed 2 Jedi.
Oh, man.
And so he's super distraught. Like, he can't believe what the Empire did to him basically to force him to do this without his free will, basically. And he's
Yeah,
like super
right.
sad. And so when they explain to him why they're on Coruscant to get the nanodroids, he's like, I'm in, like, sign me up, I'm joining. Like, he's super gun ho about doing this.
We don't know which 2 Jedi Wolf killed?
No.
You didn't write a cool
No, I don't got time for that. There's
like
10,000
you
Jedi. I don't know
shoulda-
which ones
you
were killed like in
you
the first
couldn't
like
just
5
been
minutes.
you could have been like he killed
Well-
he walked in right behind Anakin and killed the youngling in the corner in the back room, and then he killed the other youngling behind him. You didn't. Okay.
No. These are like after the fact or after Order 66 initially.
Oh, okay.
occurred.
Yeah,
So this
he
is
said
like,
he led
he
groups
led
of
3
clone-
missions. and then
To
in 2 of those
hunt
missions,
younglings. Got
he
it.
killed. Oh gosh. So
Yeah. Anyways,
so there was 7 tech facility workers that were woken up and saved, and so they're talking about the facility, and they're trying to come up with a plan on how to get these nanodroids that are in the facility. And what they find out about the facility is that though clones work at the facility, it is not directly a military compound. It is kind of like a third party higher type. Well, I don't know what the term is. I forget. A third party. So it's not. It's
they're contracted.
yes, that's what I was thinking. So they're kind of like a contracted tech facility. So clones work there, are always there, but it's a private company basically. So that being said, there's not really a lot of security there. Usually at night, once everybody's gone for work, it's just kind of like a skeleton crew, just like the guy with a nightstick walking around, kind of.
Yes.
The one guy that scans all the points to make sure that they know that he walked around. Andrew
Yeah.
knows what I'm talking about.
Yep. It was basically Andrew Martin of NCU.
Oh, come on.
You saying you weren't good? You saying you weren't good? Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
No, I would.
So if you're good, then you think, oh man, these security guards are great. I hope they don't die.
Yeah, well,
Like-
they're gonna die, but keep going.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh no.
Andrew, you guys didn't have like scanning points that you have to scan on your like routes?
No, we had to call things in though every
Oh.
15 minutes and make sure we had all of the buildings checked and parking lots.
When I
cleared
did
and stuff like that.
security overnights, we had like barcode scanners essentially, and we had scanned so that our superior knew that we went on patrol at night.
It was
maybe
the same
kidnapped.
thing with our call log.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. And so they're gonna go at night, and they figure, all right, they're gonna do the classic move. They're gonna enter the building through the sewer system underneath, like classic. Like,
Classic.
classic. Like, why waste your time going through the front door? Like,
No.
Just go underneath.
and
Yeah.
so the tech facility workers notes that even though they know where the nanodroids are, it's in a very secretive, secure location. Like, it's not. It's kind of a more private thing that's going on. So they don't know a lot about what's going on, but they do know that it's on the 3rd level, and there's 5 levels in this building. And so, and on the roof of the building is a large landing pad. And so, get the nanodroids, go up to the roof, cargo ship comes in, get out of there. And so their plan is to go the next day in the evening. So it's, around early afternoon. So about like 36 hours later type of thing, like the next day in the evening. And so the next morning they're continuing the plan, doing the plan, blah, blah, blah. But Wolf, he starts getting a little concerned about this. And he says that I can't go with you on this mission, and I can't return with you guys when you leave Coruscant. And he's like, Rex is like, no, brother, why? Like, you gotta come with us. Like, we need you. And he's like, no, I want to work with you, but I can't go with you. And he explains how, 2 months into the Empire's existence. Um, Clones that were given implants and prosthetics were banned from battle. And we find out that with his experience and leadership skills from the Clone Wars and whatnot, and how elite he was at killing and tracking down Jedi, he was actually promoted to a high command position in a Star Destroyer. And he actually trains and leads clones on these Star Destroyers. And he does have access to, high level intelligence and briefings and stuff from the Empire. And he thinks that I can just return back to my Star Destroyer and I can be your eyes and ears and be a person on the inside for you guys.
A
And
wolf in sheep's clothing. All right, just keep going. I'm sorry.
That joke was
so-
wolf.
Get out. No, you can't. Just Jeremiah, keep going, please.
Those jokes are bad.
Ah.
All
Jeremiah,
right.
you sure you don't have a kid somewhere that we don't know about?
I don't have any kids, no.
Okay.
And so, Bad Batch and Rex, they're like, this is actually good. We need someone on inside that can help us coordinate things. So we're just doing everything blind. Like, we have no idea what we're doing, basically. So at Tech, he sets up a long-range comm link for Wolf so that they can be in constant communication when they need to and all that stuff. And they tell him that, in the coming weeks, if they can get these nano droids, that they want to infiltrate Camino, so he needs to help them find a way onto Camino. And so Wolf, he leaves the group, and he says that, he'll keep an eye out during this mission tonight. If you guys trigger any alarms or if whatever, like, he's going to try and help them best he can. So he's watching from his base.
Cool.
And so it cuts to the middle of the night, and again, classic, they're on the roof of the building across the street.
Ah.
Makes sense.
Let me guess. Are they going to zip line in
No, they're
down to the sewer entrance thing?
no, but we'll just add that. Well, I'll just add that in
Oh.
right now.
Sick. Okay.
Yes, they
sweet.
are.
Yes, they are. Hunter, he shoots the line across the thing, and they
Nice.
zip down.
And they drop straight into the sewer
Yes,
instead of. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
And so, but before they do the zip line thing, Tech, he's able to scan the facility, see who's inside. And so there are 10 people in the facility on level 1, and but he's like, there's 10 people, but there's something else in the building that he can't figure out. Like, there's another life form, but like, he's like, I don't know what's going on. I know there's 10 people, but there's something else in there, and it's on the 3rd floor where the nanotechs are, nanodroids are. And they're like, okay, like they're just ready for that. They don't know what it is. And so they continue looking at the building, and they see that there's 4 starships on top of the landing pad that's on the roof. And they're like, okay, when we're getting out of here, if we need those, like, we're gonna steal those if we can or whatever. Like, they know there's 4 starships. And so they zip line down, and they get to the sewers, and they enter the building. So there's the 7 tech workers plus Bad Batch and Rex. So that's 12 people that are going into this building. And so,
Yeah. Crosshair's still
yeah, he's still,
just benching it up, just sitting on
Yep.
the bench.
yep. Put me in, coach. That's what he's singing right now. I'm ready to shoot. But tense. So it's kind of like a tense scene when they enter the building, because it's mostly dark because it's night. So like just a few lights are on, but they're trying to navigate the building without getting seen. And so it's them kind of like, it's a cool scene where they're kind of like waiting for someone to cross the hall, and then they go behind them, and they kind of like work their way up to to a staircase where they can go up. And so they don't want to use the elevators because that's obviously going to trigger something or whatever. So they just use a staircase, which when I was writing this, have we ever seen a staircase in Star Wars? Like other than like at the
Yeah.
opera scene, like when they're walking up, like an
Yes.
actual like
Yeah.
Yes. They were
Naboo.
fighting in Naboo. Episode 1. They're
Theed
fighting in
Palace.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have to go.
That's also in Battlefront 2.
Oh,
So-
true. Yeah, because you have to go down the thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll have to
How do you
Same
not-
thing in the Death Star.
Death Star.
Yeah, the Death Star level. There's like stairs you go up and down in that level too.
Okay. Anyway, they go upstairs, and they get to the 3rd floor, and they get into the area where the nano droids are, where it's kind of like locked down, but Tech, he's able to hack in and break in, like, because that's his thing. And so they enter this area of the facility, and Hunter tells Echo to hack into the security system and just watch for any alerts, anything like that, just to make sure they're all safe. And so then they start going through to their rooms. And so one group, they find the stash of the nanodroids. There's 20 containers, like, and I kind of picture these containers kind of like the size of like a microwave or something like that, a large microwave. And so they're all piled up. And Wrecker, he finds in one of the rooms a bunch of data logs and programming manuals for nanodroids. So he's going through that. And then Tech, Hunter, and Rex enter a room. And Tech says there's a life form in this room right now. And Hunter's like, you're right, I can hear it breathing right now. You keep watch. Like, they don't know what's going on. And so they're going through the room, and Rex, he finds a cage. And it's kind of like in the back corner of the cage, and so there's something in that corner, like a little small creature thing. He doesn't know what it is. And so it's hiding in the shadow. And so Rex, he takes off his helmet because he doesn't know, he doesn't want to scare it. He wants to kind of like build trust, like he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, hey, little guy, like, it's okay, I'm not going to hurt you. And so this creature comes into the light and says, hey, I'm Babu Frick.
Oh my gosh.
Brr, 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 brr.
Oh. I should go
So
grab my Babu Frick. Why didn't you warn me?
I didn't want to ruin it.
What's the name of the
So-
episode? Babu Frick?
Nope, the Droid Smith. That's the name of the episode.
Oh.
So
Hey,
discover-
hey!
hey, I'm Babu Frick. That's what he says. And so Rek comes in, like not even knowing what
They've
just
got
happened.
him in a cage?
How
They
rude.
well, let me finish the story and why he's in a cage. Take it.
Okay.
Got this all
alright.
planned out. I know it's very emotional right now because he's your favorite Star Wars character of all time.
He
so,
is. Yeah.
He's definitely up there.
So Wrecker comes in and he's like, "Hey, so there's something here called a Babu Frick, like," and they say that these logs say that he was enslaved by the Empire to work on nanodroids, and so that's why Babu Frick is there, because the Empire knew that how good of a droid smith he was, enslaved him, and using him to program nanodroids, and so he's
Dang.
a slave of the Empire. So this is part of Babu Frick's backstory.
Ooh.
Now, this is a little fun, fun fact, and I don't even know if it's revealed in the book, this new book that came out for Star Wars. But I'm not too spoilery. But when they go into the array and they rescue those people, and there's an Anzillion, a little creature, that's that species is Babu
Oh.
Frick's species. So
Oh.
Oh.
Wait,
so-
really?
Really? So
'Cause he's
I-
like
I-
acting like it's a baby.
yeah.
Oh my
so-
gosh.
Oh my.
I was wondering if in this book if that Anzillion was Babu Frick, but I don't know.
I guess
don't know.
we don't. Do we have a
Wow.
history of timeline with like?
Well, I know
How
that
they
that
age?
species, I think, lives long. Like has longer lifespans. But
Wow.
I was just thinking it was cool if that was Babu Frick, but I don't know.
That is cool.
I was gonna say, chat. That's when you would come in and let us know how long their species.
And so it's actually kind of funny why I chose Babu Frick to come in,
Uh-huh.
because I was just kind of like researching nanodroids on Wikipedia, and in there it goes to that species, the Anzilians, and why they're such good droid smiths is because their eyesight can can see like nanodroids. Like they can work on nanodroids with
Oh.
their eyesight, this blind eyes.
Oh.
Is
And
that
it's like,
is that canon?
yeah, I think so. Like on
Wow.
Wikipedia. So like I was like, this is cool. Like I'm making Babu Frick part of my thing because he probably worked on nanodroids at some
Well,
point.
That's cool.
frick.
That's really cool.
That is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, all right. So they figure out who Babu Frick is, and they're
Yeah.
like, all right, we need to take him with us. Like, we need him to know how to properly program these nanodroids. Like, if the Empire is enslaving him to do this, he must know what he's doing, and programming nanodroids might not be as easy as we thought it was going to be. And so Wrecker, he's excited about this little guy because he's like the big guy, but he's like super excited about this cute little creature. He's like, so he takes off
Does he
his
get like a child carrier? He straps to him and
Like a little thing in the front.
yeah.
no.
Oh, okay.
I can't.
No.
Those are so cool, man. I want to get one for Ahsoka, my dog. Just have it where she can.
That's
Just,
going to be a heavy.
well, she had that girl.
Yeah, your dog is like
She's
80
thick.
pounds and is like a foot tall. Like that thing is
Yeah.
like
She is literally 56 pounds. at her
straight
last
muscle.
vet, and
Straight
just
muscle.
straight jack. If you guys want to see a picture of my dog, let me know and I'll put it in the Discord. But yeah, she's thick, and her name is Ahsoka. So keeping it
So
Star
we-
Wars related.
By the way, we have some information from the chat from our good friend Tanner, who says that they apparently rarely live past 60 years old,
Oh.
and they are considered adults at 10 years old. So Babu Frick would.
He would be 60 if he's 10 years old now. He'd be 60 in The Rise of Skywalker.
So in
makes
your
sense.
canon, it makes
He's-
sense, and he can't be in the new book.
It does say rarely past 60. So there's a possibility he could live past 60.
Maybe
So it could-
he took really good care of himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No death sticks or scotch
death
or anything like that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Wrecker, he takes off his helmet and to go hang out with, like, to play with Babu Frick, whatever. Like he's excited. But doing so, after he took off his helmet, security cameras
Oh,
see him take off his helmet and scan him and see that this is Wrecker, who is a defective clone that is part of a rebellion, basically. Because when Rex takes his helmet off, he just looks like a regular clone. So, like, the security system didn't register because there's clones that work at that facility. But when Wrecker took off his helmet, the security system recognized him.
He wrecked everything.
Oh.
Hit the button.
Facial
Hit the
scan.
button.
So he does the facial scan. And immediately a silent alarm to the Empire goes off. But Echo, he was able to catch that alarm because he was hacked into the system. And so he says, Wrecker, you just triggered the alarm. We have to go now. The Empire is probably going to be here like right away. So Hunter, he radios the cargo ship for immediate extraction and warns that there could be a big fight. Like, get ready. And then so they're grabbing all the crates of the nanodroids, and they load them up on a cart thing, one of those hover carts or whatever, and they go to the elevator that goes to the landing pad on the roof. And so, but then they're also grabbing like the program manuals and all that stuff, like what they think they need. And Rex, he gets Babu Frick and he takes them with. But while they're doing this, Wolf radios in.
Wolf,
guys.
there he is.
You can't do the same joke
Okay,
twice.
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Can't do it.
to be fair, that's like his third time
No,
or fourth time using
that's-
the name.
No, you guys were using it.
Anyways,
You used it a few times, but
Yeah.
Wolf, he radios in and he says, "There's two lats coming in right now.
Ooh.
They're going for your position right now. You need to get out ASAP." And so they get up to the roof, and um, they can see from a distance that the cargo ship, where they know the cargo ship's coming from. They see them, it's coming, it's coming as fast as it can, but then they look in a different direction and they see the two lats coming at them as well, right? Going, so it's a race. Who's going to get the first cargo ship, pick up them up, or the lats? And so they're kind of like Taki kind of like does his thing. All right, the lats are going to be 5 minutes. This 5 minutes behind the arrival of the cargo ship. So they have 5 minutes from when the cargo ship gets there to load up the ship and get out of there. And so while they're doing this, loading up the ship the fast as they can, Wolf radios in again. He's like, "There's 3 more lats coming. They're on their way."
Oh gosh.
Like it's
It's
on,
going
like,
down.
It's going crazy. So, and so the clones are like, they're on the roof. They're like, "There's no way we can survive this. Like, these lats are gunships. They're gonna like just tear us apart like when they get here." And there's 4 of the clones that are kind of saying in a group. They look at each other, and then look at the 4 starships, and they both like have a look on their face like, we got to do this type of thing. And they all 4 of them run to the ships, and while they're running, they look back and say, "We can slow them down, get out of here, save our brothers." And everyone's like, "No, we can get out of here. No, come back. They're like, "No, we're going. Go save our brothers." And so at this time, the 10 people that were in the building at the time, they make their way up to the roof, and they're starting to shoot at them. And they're like, now, like, they can't. They have to go. Like, Hunter's like, "Load up. We got to go now. We got to take off." Boom, boom, boom. They load up. They take off. So do you remember back during the Mandalorian season 2 when we were talking about the aerial fight from the Siege episode and how it was like wide shot, and I was talking about how I was at that time I was writing an episode where there was an aerial fight from a far distance. Do you remember that at all?
Yep.
So this is that scene that I was referencing that I hinted at that I was writing. And so picture that episode of The Mandalorian where there's wide shots of aerial battles. This is kind of how I want you to picture this next scene that takes place. So the camera view, it would cut to a far distance from the tech facility, and you see the cargo ship leaving, going to one direction, up to try to get to hyperspace. They're trying to leave the planet. And then, but on the opposite side of the screen, you see the lats coming in. And then from that, you also see the 4 starships that are on the roof racing towards the lats that are trying to go to the cargo ship. So it's kind of like a big distance, 3 groups of flyers coming in, going in their own direction to try and do their thing. And so the 4 starships, they just go straight for the lats to try and like make them swerve, blah, blah, and get off course type of thing. So, but they're taking invasive maneuvers, but the lats, they get back on course, going straight towards the cargo ship that's going a steep climb to space. And so the 4 starships, they speed around, they turn around, they're chasing after the lats. And the starships, they're a little bit faster than the lats, so they can catch up pretty easily. And one of the good clones in one of the starships says, "I'm gonna clip one of their wings." And then another one says, "I'll do the same to the other one." And so they speed ahead, fly straight into the wings of the lats to clip the wings. They don't want to kill them. Like they don't have any. These are just like civilian starships. So they don't have any weapons on them. And so we're gonna clip their wings, and hopefully they don't die. Like they're kind of hoping that they would crash but not die because they don't want to kill them, type of thing. But they're gonna say, "We're gonna sacrifice our lives clipping these wings to give some more time because there's still 3 more lats that are coming in fast. So they clip the wings. Those 2 lats, they spiral and crash type of thing. And the other 2 starships, they rush in, and they are kind of like a barrier between the cargo ship and the 3 other lats that come in. And so when the lats are in range of the cargo ship, they start firing as this hardcore towards the cargo ship, but those 2 other starships are blocking, and they're taking the damage. They're trying to use. They don't really have any shields, but they're just taking the damage, and it's pretty wreck. They get wrecked pretty quick. But by the time they get destroyed, the cargo ship is able to they're able to leave the atmosphere, and these 3 lats, they are not equipped for they have to stay in the atmosphere. They're not they can't do outer space maneuvers and flights and stuff like that. And so they get to the hyperspace lane and they get out. And so the cargo ship safely got all those nanodroids that they stole, but they lost 4 clones in the making, which were 4 tech facility workers that they saved. And so while they're in hyperspace, Tech is able to use his translator to kind of communicate with Babu Frick and tells him the situation. And Babu Frick is like, I will help you. And when I help you, I want you guys to give me safe passage to the planet Kajimi. And so, big deal. If you help us and it works, we'll get you to Kajimi. That's their plan. And it flashes to after this to Tarkin, and he receives word that Clone Force 99 broke into a tech facility on Coruscant, and they stole 20 containers of nanodroids and Babu Frick. And he is like, how is this possible? How did they get on the most secure planet in the universe with them? Like, how is this possible? Like, he's pissed. And he's like, what on earth do they need nanodroids for? And he flips the desk, and that's the end of the episode.
Dang.
He flipped the desk.
Yep.
All right.
If he was Vader, he would choke someone out.
That is true.
And if he was Kylo, he would have just cut the desk in half.
True.
And probably
or
most
like
of the wall.
100 pieces.
And
like,
took off his
just-
shirt. Don't forget about that. Take off his shirt.
All right, so what do you guys think? The Droid Smith episode.
I think I would not even have guessed Babu Frick, even if you would have not blurred that out. That
Really?
would have been my.
The only time that we've heard the word Droid Smith is
I would
with
have guessed. Yeah, that would have given it away for me.
Really? I just wouldn't have put that timeline together. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it's pretty cool that Babu Frick is here.
Yeah.
Is he here to stay though?
We don't know.
But he
I
is
mean,
part-
obviously he doesn't die,
True.
you know.
well, maybe unless he's a clone. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
hope he's not a clone.
The only time I hope he's not a clone.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it's I mean, it's getting good, and I thought that episode was good too. I think they were both really good supporting episodes for what I think is going to be coming in the future episodes, you know, especially because they needed the droids, and now they have someone who can program them super well.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and plus it's Babu Frick. I mean, come on. He needed more screen time anyways
True.
Yep.
in The Rise of Skywalker.
I mean, that's literally like what saved the movie for me, but yeah. It definitely wasn't a kiss, I can tell you that.
I don't talk about that.
But Well,
No, it was good. Really good.
any predictions, Andrew?
Okay, they have the droids. They have the droid Smith.
And these are the
Obviously,
droids that they were
have-
looking for.
get out.
Remember, Wolf is working on the inside of the Empire as a contact. So you got that.
That is true. So now they've got someone on the inside. They've got the droid Smith. They've got the droids. Obviously, they're going to figure out how to make the droids work. And somehow Babu, he's going to get to Kijimi, I would imagine, because that's where we see him. You know,
We see Wolf, right? He's part of those clones in Rebels, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Tarkin figures out that Wolf is an inside job and somehow tries to get rid of him. I don't think it's like the next episode, obviously, but I think he figures out somehow that Wolf has betrayed him and he's going to try to get rid of Wolf. And
So, do you think that because Wolf is alone, you could call him a lone wolf?
hey, Andrew, in Jeremiah's defense, he has not said much.
That's true.
Sure.
You know what? You're right. You're right.
If I would have said that, you could have.
I could have kicked you. I
could've
would have just kicked you out of the
kicked me out.
way.
That's fair. But I didn't say that, and we'll give Jeremiah one.
That was good. I really want to see, and I'm hoping that Tarkin figures out what they're doing, and I hope that there is some mounting resistance to them actually carrying out their plan, because so far they've done a really good job of like staying undercover, staying under the radar and everything. And I want
someone
to see
get hurt.
Well, I think knowing Jeremiah, I think someone will.
Someone might lose
But we're
another
only,
eye.
but he, no. Why would he lose another eye? But what I was gonna say is we're technically only halfway through the season.
It is true.
So we've got a lot of story to cover. You know, it's been really good so far. Like I would, as a unit, the first 4 episodes I think were really strong together. I think the episodes individually, you know, have served the story super well, and so I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I liked it. I love the
I'd watch
cameo, and I love the backstory of Babu Frick. I think without that in this episode, it kind of pulled these 2 episodes together for me.
Yeah.
So, between Wolf and Babu Frick, these 2 cameos is like it's almost like season 2 of Mandalorian, where every episode there's this character, this special thing at the end of it. And Jeremiah,
By the way,
I see what you're doing there.
Someone said, it might have been Johan, I don't know, in the Twitch chat earlier where you're talking about the insurance. Someone was like, it would have made episode 2 of season 2 of The Mandalorian so much less intense because he could have just called his insurance and they, you know, like planet side assistance. But speaking of the chat, we do have
predictions.
We do have some predictions. We have some feedback.
Ooh, I'm excited.
So again, if you're not if you're not watching on Twitch, you know, if you can't make it, that's fine. But if you can make it and you're not doing it intentionally, you're missing out on some discussions here. So,
but you can also go on our Discord, and there's a Bad Batch fan fiction thread too. You can talk about
and
this.
There has been a lot of interactions there too. So that is definitely another way. Or you guys could just go leave your comments also on our Facebook page and our Instagram as well. So don't feel like your voice will not be heard.
Yep. There's all kinds of avenues you can take.
Yes.
Yeah. So Tanner says, I love the addition of Babu. Super cool to see some background. I agree with him. It's really nice to see at least a snippet of what he was doing before The Rise of Skywalker. Johan says, nice tie-in. I'll take anything that makes the sequels better.
That's fair.
Tanner, this is one of my favorite comments. He says he's a clone Babu, but with the 2 U's like Jorus. He's a clone. He's like a crazy clone. Probably not, but it was fun. Johan says, also love to see how Wolf plus Gregor's story looks like in the future before joining Rex on that desert planet. He also says, and they have to go rescue Wolf from the Star Destroyer.
True, they do at some point.
So that would be cool.
Especially if Tarkin finds out.
Yeah,
might have
and
to
he
go.
also says possibly by turning the clones on that ship.
Ooh. And you know what's really cool about this, you guys? Is that if you're right, chances are Jeremiah just edited the story and just added it in there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I have not written season 3 yet, but I have some ideas. So
Nice.
you guys
if you give
could
some good
be
ideas,
influent. Yeah.
I might give you special credit.
Ooh, you heard
Yeah,
it here first.
Johan also says, you think they're losing one of the Bad Batch? I could see Wrecker sacrificing himself after having been detected by the Empire already. He's also his least favorite member of the Bad Batch.
Yeah, he's kind of a wreck of a character.
Oh, gosh.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same joke again.
Tanner also says, yeah, I was thinking that Wrecker would be a possible sacrifice.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think if they lose a member of the Bad Batch, Babu Frick
He
joins the
the
Bad
crew.
Batch.
That would be fun.
You know, have both of you played The Force Unleashed, the game?
No,
No.
I've been wanting to, but I don't have a PlayStation 3. So
You can buy
Okay.
it on your PlayStation.
no, you can't. We've been over this. You can't. Not
So-
on PlayStation 4. I can't play on PlayStation 4.
Anyways,
Okay.
there is a boss battle where you have to go to a junk planet and fight a Jedi Master who is very small. I can't. I'm blanking on the alien, his species name, but he actually recreates a replica of the Jedi Temple out of trash and scrap metal and stuff, and he has droids there. It's kind of a droid smith, but he has, because he's small, he has like, think of like Doc Ock
Yeah.
arms that he uses for mobility and stuff, and he uses to help him wield his lightsaber. Babu Frick could do that. He could have like a little mech suit.
Speaking of things
What
we
if
can
before
do.
the events of this, maybe he's the one who built Maul's spider legs?
Ooh, that would be cool. Well, we have a solution for you, Jeremiah.
Yeah, we do.
Tanner in the chat said that you can borrow his PS3 and his Force Unleashed 1 and 2 games if you want.
Ooh.
So you might have to contact
This is
him
your
in
chance.
Discord and figure that out. But
Maybe
This is your chance to start your Let's Play series that you've been
I
itching
could.
to do for years, I'm sure.
yeah.
I'll keep that in the file cabinet in my head right now.
Yes, Kazdan Paratus. Thank you, Tanner. I forgot his name, but yes, he was the Jedi Master.
I want to give another shout out to Tanner because he came. I'm pretty sure this is the same person, but he came and got the Rule of Two coffee, which you guys can still order that.
Person.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys can still order it, but Tanner showed up to the shop with a lightsaber on his hilt, and
That's amazing.
it was pretty dope.
You know
And
whose
I was
lightsaber
like,
was it?
I think it was Annie's, or sorry, Anakin's or Rey's, but it looked.
no.
Yeah, I'm just,
Keep going.
but yes. So shout out to him.
Yeah.
because it was pretty cool. I was kind of, it's Luke's.
From Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, but I was kind of in shock in the moments. I didn't react my best, and I apologize because I was like, this boy is packing heat, and so yeah. But shout out to Tanner. But yes, speaking of Road 2, if you guys do want to pre-order that, I think right now we have 1, but we need 7 to create a batch of the Rule of 2. So message us on anything. You can message us, link below where you listen to this podcast. You can also message us in Discord, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and the chat on Twitch if you want to start pre-ordering the Bad Batch. So
The bad batch.
Or not the bad batch, the good bag.
Coffee batch. Yeah. Yeah. The way this works, to give everyone some context, is we can't just roast them and just leave them. So we need a group of 7 people that will commit to buying a bag. They are $25 a bag because the coffee is really, really nice. I have a bag. It's super good. You're going to love it. I would imagine if you like quality coffee, you're going to like this. And so we need 7 people. Once we get those 7 people to commit, Drew will roast the coffee and ship it out. And then we can kind of keep doing that as we have more people. So if you're interested in getting a bag of Rule of 2 coffee from Wesley Andrews, the sponsor of today's episode, that's how you need to do it.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Next week, do we have names of episodes, Jeremiah?
We do. Next week, episode 5 is Hunted, and then 6 is
Tarkin.
Final Test. And I will say, episode 5 is my favorite episode of the season. So
Wow.
I'm excited.
All right. Well,
All righty.
until then, I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm excited to get into it. So, any more thoughts, boys?
No?
All right. Well, again, Jeremiah, great job.
Thank you.
We're excited. I know everyone else is that's listening to this. I would assume they are. If they're not, you should be. Anyways, you've been listening to another episode of the Empire Radio Podcast. I'm Andrew.
I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
May the force be with you.
Always.